Become a patron at www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos, and articles on the golden era of bodybuilding.
Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Super happy today. I'm in snowy Zurich area, as you can see. Just picked up a van full of magazines from an ex-Olympic cyclist. He was actually part of the Swiss Olympic team back in his 70s. Now he's about 64 years old. And I just picked up his collection of golden era muscle mags, as well as mags from nowadays. Has to be one of the biggest collections I've ever acquired in this Germanic region, Swiss region of Europe. And now together with my collection, well, it's definitely going to be one of the biggest in Europe. Anyway, check this out. I mean, that's the that's the van full, as you can see, of muscle mags. Yeah, so you can see we've got some more recent ones, but I'm going to show you especially some of the very rare ones. Here's one of them of the 70s and 60s that I've got, and there's some real mint pieces in there. I mean, damn, van full of German and American vintage muscle mags. Let's check them out. It's freezing cold out here. I just wanted to show you what it looks like in the car. Now I'm going to go inside the house and show you what I've got, and boy do I have some gems in there for you. So as you can see, I've laid the collection out on my table. It's at least 600 or more magazines and books and DVDs, and yeah, pretty much the history of bodybuilding in German, because these magazines are mostly German magazines. So basically these magazines, which were produced in Germany and other parts of Europe, would catalog obviously the silver and golden era, as we have here in the front, and then as we kind of go towards the back, we also have a catalog of the more recent times, as you can see, with Flex and etc. Muscle Mag, all those magazines there from the 80s, 90s and 2000s. It's a substantial collection. Yeah, it's enormous. It took me already just half an hour to unpack everything, and I'm just going to go through some of the stuff that we've got in this collection briefly. So here we go. Easier to do it just with the phone like this. Now, starting off with Craft Sport Review. This is one of the earliest magazines in which Arnold actually was featured in. And then it became Sport Review, as shown here with Frank Zane on the cover, and continued as Sport Review for many, many years. I mean, it went from the, back from the 60s, as you can see here, through the late 60s, 70s, 80s, then it just kept going all the way up to the 2000s until it finally finished, I think, a couple of years ago. So it's pretty much a great catalog here. We've got a great library of both bodybuilding and also the history of German bodybuilding and basically European bodybuilding. So it's a really, really excellent collection. Now, it's also amazing to see how the physiques, evolve over time. As we go through the collections, they get bigger and bigger, and until of course they get rather grotesque later on. But going through the collection, especially this one, Craft Sport Review, is extremely rare, as well as the early Sport Review, to find. So I have to admit that I am extremely excited about this collection, and it's pretty much one of the first times I'm going to go through it, because I've just been stacking and unstacking. That's it. I haven't actually gone through it. So here we go. This one I definitely need. Here we've got some beautiful covers. I believe that's Pepper Gomez on the cover. Chet Yorton, wow, I mean, this guy just passed away, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. So, rest in peace, Chester. I need to do a tribute video, of course, on Chester Yorton, but that's a wonderful cover. Of course, he beat Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this is when Arnold essentially made his debut appearance at the Mr. Universe in 1966, where he was beaten in the NABBA competition by Chester Yorton. Oh, here's a wonderful cover with Dave Draper, the blonde bomber, looking like, yeah, I mean, you know, he's on Muscle Beach or something. Wow. Here we go. This is where the gold is, right? Here we have Arnold Schwarzenegger, issue 39, extremely rare to find, and it's in wonderful condition. I mean, yeah, it's got unfortunately a couple of prints there on the cover, but still, nevertheless. Here's Helmut Reidmeyer. I am trying to get in touch with him. He was kind of buddies with Arnold, and yeah, he was he's still going strong. He's still going strong. German muscle man, German bodybuilder. Bill Pearl on the cover. I am going through these because these are extremely rare, and I think some people might be interested in seeing these. Wow, look at that cover of Steve Reeves. Now that is beautiful. A colorized photo of him just before he won the 1947 Mr. America competition. I recognized the photo immediately. I think this one was from Russ Warner. It's a legendary photo. And talking about legendary photos, here's another one. A very rare, super rare magazine issue cover with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Again, the condition is just wonderful. This is just so rare to find. Oh wow, we've got one of Franco here, who also passed away a year ago, I believe. Incidentally, I think it was the same day that another person passed away, and that was, of course, Rick Drayson. I don't know who that guy is, but nevertheless, awesome cover, aesthetically built, which is what I like. Here we have some guy, I don't know who that is. Oh wow, everyone knows who this is, and this is really rare. Here we have album 3. Oh my god, I can't believe it. This is album 3 of Sport Review with Arnold Schwarzenegger on the cover in a photo I've never seen before. And many magazines back then used to also offer their magazines as albums, right? So we've got probably, you know, several issues here of, oh, that's Scott Cooper, of magazines in the one album. That's what made these albums so special. And if these magazines are rare, then these albums are even more rare. And you can see the kind of stuff is in here. You know, you're going to have reports of the Mr. Universe competitions, the training programs. I think that was Arnold just there. Oh, no, it wasn't. But you've got programs of the past. There's Scott Cooper again. And yeah, you got some wonderful, wonderful information in these magazines. It's just brilliant. It really is. This is one hell of a collection. There we have Chris Dickerson very early on in the 1960s. So here's just a small amount of, you know, I've got piles of these mags. So I can only imagine what treasures lie within. Just a small little sneak peek at what I've gotten. Now I thought I'd also go through the more later Sport Review. Again, I haven't seen these before. I can't possibly go through all the 600-700 mags that I've got here. I haven't even laid another couple of piles on the table just because it doesn't fit anymore. So I thought I'd just go through some of them, especially the really rare stuff. Here again, I believe we have, maybe that's Helmut Reidmeyer. I've got to double check. Oh wow, here's another great cover of Arnold. Very rare cover of Arnold. Wow, that's number 63 Sport Review. That's great. Here we have Frank Zane. Hang on a minute. I just turned off the light because the glare was too strong, so I think we'll be able to appreciate the magazines better that way. Here we have a wonderful cover of Frank Zane again in the now late 60s, early 70s. Great cover. Not sure who that is. So occasionally the magazines featured some unknowns. Here we have a British bodybuilder. I keep forgetting his name. Oh wow, here we go again. Another wonderful cover of Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Bavarian Alps. Back then when he had no calves, but he still had a massive musculature. It's a great cover. Here we have, it's from 1970. Again, as I said, there's some people I don't recognize because these German magazines also covered local competitions, their local muscle man, and so, you know, I can't expect to know everybody. Here's Helmut Reidmeyer again, the guy that I'm trying to get in contact with, Arnold's training buddy. He would have known what Arnold also was doing back in Germany before he went to the States. That's why I'm so interested in speaking to him. Helmet, if you're listening, I am trying to get in touch with you. And here's Frank Zane. Well, we'll be interviewing again soon as well. Wonderful photo. Not sure who that guy is, or this guy is, or that guy. There's a few unknowns. Oh, wow. Now that I have not seen before. A super rare cover with Sergio. Although God knows why they put the TR in over his face. But yeah, I mean, damn, that's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. Very, very rare. Never seen that before. Here we have Ken Waller. Really nice. An unknown. Another unknown. Frank Zane, of course. Boyako. Very young Boyako. Very aesthetic back then. His arms are still peaky as. You can tell the development. I mean, you know, you gotta admit that most bodybuilding is just genetics, isn't it? And if you're only taking a small amount of anabolic steroids like these guys did back in the 60s and 70s, well, it's only going to enhance what you already have. And so that's why I love the shapes of the 60s and 70s. And although I'm against anabolic steroid use, you can see the slight enhancement in their physiques with the anabolic steroids. And yet, my point is that they still were able to look different to each other, as opposed to today, where they just basically all look the same. So another unknown here. Many unknowns. God, that's kind of weird. Not sure who that guy is, but he's huge. This guy's also an unknown. Yeah, lots of unknowns, as you can see in Sport Review. I'm not sure who these guys are, unfortunately. But I'm hoping that the information within has information on legends such as Chris Dickerson here. Chris Dickerson, beautiful, beautiful lat spread there. Another unknown. This guy I know, he trained a lot in Britain from what I understand. He was massive. Unknown. Bill Pearl, beautiful. An unknown. Dennis Tenorino, Chris Dickerson, Boyako. And yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on, doesn't it? Jim Hayslop, wow. I'm interviewing him very soon. Need to speak to him again. So yeah, that's really just a look at Sport Review. Going to go through now Athletic Sport Review for those that are still watching. So Athletic Sport Journal, actually it's what it's called, not review. Athletic Sport Journal was the other, you could say, almost competitive magazine to Craft Sport Review back in the late 50s, or no, early 60s actually, early 60s. Here we have Reinhard Smolana, who was, you know, before Arnold there was Reinhard, put it that way. He was like the Mr. Germany at the time. Rare cover again. Oh wow, there's Chet Yorton having just won the Mr. Universe at the back. Franco, we have Dave Draper and Don Peters, who are both from the past, of course. Franco's passed away. Jim Hayslop, again, I'm going to be interviewing him very soon with that super sassy lady. Damn, those girls back then. Amazing. Here we have Ricky Wayne, looking vascular as. Man, beautiful cover. Boyako. Again, super peak on that bicep. He just had it, didn't he? He just had that fantastic peak on that bicep. Now, here's a wonderful cover of Arnold and Franco. I've seen this particular mag go for up to $200 US. It's just so rare, and it's in fairly good nick, so I'm very happy to own it. And yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful magazine. Beautiful. Here we have a feature of course, Frank Zane, and also of the 1982 Mr. Olympia. Look at this lineup. We've got Franco, Serge, Oliva, Arnold, Zane, and well, there's always someone you don't know. But yeah, I mean, what a lineup. What a lineup. Fantastic. Beautiful. Here we have Franco Colombo. Wonderful cover. Frank Zane. Another, oh man, another really rare cover of Arnold here. Again, this one's really rare, actually super rare. I've only seen it maybe once or twice online. Here we go. Here come all the Arnold covers. These are beautiful. These are just fantastic. Wow, look at this one of Lou Ferrigno, just coming out, having just won the Mr. Universe competition. Man, he was destined for great things, wasn't he? He's just amazing. Another wonderful Arnold magazine cover. The girl's just like staring at that bicep. Yeah, who wouldn't be? Here we have two adoring girls just loving Arnold. Damn, look at them. They're gorgeous, aren't they? And there we have Arnold hitting a front double biceps. Wonderful, wonderful cover of Arnold again. Ken Waller. Don't know. Lou Ferrigno. Wow, that's great. That is great. Very young, very, very young Lou Ferrigno there. Serge Nubret. Wow. He was at his peak at that time. Just looked phenomenal. Ripped to shreds there. Another great cover of Arnold here. Wonderful cover of Arnold. That's, oh, I keep forgetting. I know his name. He's a Welsh bodybuilder. Paul Graham, that's it. Paul Graham. He also appeared in Pumping Iron. Of course, Robbie Robinson, the Black Prince. Arnold again, training intensely. Danny Padilla, the Giant Killer. Man, just check it out. This is amazing. Frank Zane, what a collection. What a collection. With Betty Weeder there. Here we have Arnold again. Man, with his famous mantis pose. Damn, just frame that for Lord. For God's sake. Just frame that. That's beautiful. Mike Mensa was coming, all right. There he was, Mr. High Intensity, Mr. Heavy Duty. And here we have a whole bunch of legends on the cover. Zane, Robbie Robinson, Ed Corney, who passed away, and Boya Ko. Oh, man. Another wonderful cover of Arnold with the arm blaster. And you know what? I don't know why nobody has come out with that yellow arm blaster again. They should have. It's the original Arnold one, for God's sake. It's great. Here we have another unknown. Oh, man. Serge Nubret. Look at that. Damn. Look at that. That's just beautiful. He's got ridges on the underside of the damn pec. That's just beautiful. That is amazing. Probably not even oiled up. I mean, the physiques back there were wonderful. Really wonderful. Some unknown. About to get lucky, obviously. Here we have Dave Draper. Dave Draper, Serge Nubret. I forgot these other two bodybuilders' names. Great cover there. Danny Padilla, real young, hitting a front lat spread. Wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous cover, fantastic. Excellent condition as well. He's a Spanish bodybuilder. Here we have Frank Zane again, wonderful. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mike Mensa. Man, the legends just keep coming. Dave Draper. Unknown. Well, yeah. I think you understand how excited I am. Here we have Steve Davis and some dude. Anyway, yeah, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Now, I thought I could continue with the whole collection, but as you can see, this is just enormous. This haul is huge. So the guy who sold this to me, as I said, was an Olympic athlete. He's 64 years old. He was an Olympic cyclist for the Swiss team back in, I think it was in the 70s, in the Montreal Olympics. The exact year escapes me now. But yeah, basically his whole wall was covered in these magazines, and now it's my whole table, but I thought I'd go through some rather special pieces that I've also kind of gone through. It would take me hours to go through everything because, as I said, I haven't even laid out the whole collection on the table. There's just no more space. But we have some really interesting stuff here. For example, we have books like Arnold Schwarzenegger, a very rare book, Karriere eines Bodybuilders. So that's basically the career of a bodybuilder. I'm assuming it is very similar. Oh, no, it is not. It is not. I thought that it was essentially the same as, or maybe it is. It might be the German version. I think it might be the German version of Education of a Bodybuilder. Although the name kind of sounds a little bit different, but I think that's what it is. And if it is, then it's going to be a very interesting read either way, because I have never read it in German, and I'm trying to learn German because I'm going to have to learn German if I'm going to go through the whole damn collection and read it. As well as that, there's some great DVDs here, of course. Pumping Iron. Many of us have already watched that. This is the German version, and it also, I believe, has English. But what I haven't watched is this very rare magazine called Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Early Years, but it's a German one. I don't think this is the same one that was produced by Wayne Galash. Unfortunately the language is only in German, and yeah, it was not produced by Wayne Galash. This is a very, very rare DVD, extremely rare. So I'm quite excited to be able to see this and try and understand what it says. It's an actual German production, so very interested. There's also, I mean, there's so many mags on Arnold and all the legends here. It's impossible to go through it right now. But just to show you some beautiful magazines here, we have Arnold hitting the arm blaster again, a special muscle mag edition from the USA with pages and pages, of course, dedicated somewhere inside. Here we go, on Arnold, of course, just some wonderful stuff. Yeah, super excited again to be owning this stuff. And again, never before seen, I've never seen these, special edition booklets and magazines in German on Arnold. It's just really, really rare stuff. Again, back then they of course celebrated Arnold. They don't nowadays, but there's some really rare photos here in super high quality, some that I've never seen before. And yeah, it's just wonderful to be able to own this and go through it, and yeah, I mean, some really awesome stuff, As of course, as I go through all this stuff, I will be showing you more and more, but you can just appreciate how awesome some of the stuff is, which is why I collect it, I collect it because I believe, firstly, that it should be preserved. Let me just put that back where I got it from. This stuff should be preserved, this stuff should be taken care of, and I hope that I can do a good job of it. And I hope that you've enjoyed looking at this enormous haul of mostly German magazines that I've just acquired from an old collector. The guy did subscriptions, and that's one of the best things to look out for, I find, when I'm trying to purchase magazines. I try not to purchase single editions because they end up costing too much. I'd rather buy big hauls like this, because typically the people that collect have subscriptions, and therefore you never miss an issue. And therefore, when you're purchasing a massive collection like these, Sport Review or Athletic Sport Journal, you basically end up with all the editions in one hit, so all the issues in one hit. So it's really, for me, a much more affordable way of getting collections. And yeah, I mean, you also find occasional gems in there, and it's just great stuff. Yeah, it's just going to be a great time for me over this Christmas, going through this wonderful collection. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed watching my new acquisition. If you've enjoyed this video, I know it's not for everybody, but as many of you know, I am a collector. If you've enjoyed the video, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the Golden Era Bookworms. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment, and to support the channel and to support the acquisition and then sharing of this knowledge, please donate via PayPal or to my museum campaign for an exhibition on Golden Era bodybuilding. Details are given. And yeah, get to my website for print books and courses. And also, you can also become a Patreon, where many of these articles which then I feature on my channel get uploaded. So it's a wonderful library of photos and articles for you to enjoy. For those people interested as well in acquiring some of this stuff, I will have copies, so do get in touch via email, and I know some of you are interested already, have contacted me, so I'll be in touch shortly with some offers. I also wish to state that I am going to probably open up on my webpage a new site there, or a new part of the website will be dedicated to reselling some of these old magazines, because to be honest, as I begin to acquire these collections, I end up with a lot of duplicates, and so I would rather now start getting rid of many of my duplicates because I simply don't have the space. So we'll be setting up a separate little shop there for people that wish to acquire magazines. I know many of you do, and so I'll be able to offer that very, very soon. Hope you've enjoyed the video. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Bye for now.
To take full advantage of my collaboration with Old School Labs, please visit their website and choose from their marvelous range of supplements using my code BOOKWORM12. And for an entertaining look at the history of bodybuilding's supplement industry, I would highly recommend watching Subs the Movie, which I have collaborated in, available at Amazon Prime and Vimeo.